I'm here. Hello everyone, welcome to ManUnited Bonafide. This is your fun channel where we speak about everything Man United. It feels good to have football back again once again. It's been a long time coming. The pandemic hit the world. Everything went helter-skelter. Everything went on a shutdown. We didn't know if things will resume. And personally, I am so glad that things are starting to come back. Businesses are opening. The streets, people are able to walk on the streets once again. We had a curfew here in Nairobi, and it's been lifted, or it's been extended to 9 p.m. in the evening. So there's a lot of movement going on, and that also means that that has also been replicated around the world, where we see things like soccer coming back, and finally football is back. Football is back, and not just football, but Premier League is back. That means no more watching boring Bundesliga. Bundesliga is boring. I tell you, Bundesliga is boring. But we're not here to discuss Bundesliga, but we are here to discuss Man United issues. First of all, it saddens me to know that people lost their lives during the pandemic. It saddens me to know that businesses are shut, people have lost their jobs, people have lost their livelihoods, children can't go to school, some parents can't go to work till today in some countries, and it is not a very easy position to find yourself in. But the positive side is that things are finally coming back, and life may not go back to where it was before. But we thank God, and I'm really praying that things will come back so that parents can be able to take their children back to school, and every other thing can come back to normal. But we're here to discuss Man United, and as always, my name is Hansel Oyango, discussing Manchester United, or rather Totenham Hotspurs versus Man United, or if you like, Mourinho versus Ole Gunnar. As we know the history behind these two, Ole Gunnar is the manager who took over from Mourinho at Man United. Mourinho was at Man United for 2.5 years. We know what happened. If you're a Man United fan, you know what happened. Mourinho got the sack. After picking fights with Pogba and Martial and other players, he lost the dressing room. And after he lost the dressing room, that was just the end of it. Once you've lost the dressing room, ask Arteta, ask Sarri, they know it too well. Once you lose the trust of the dressing room, the management has no option but to kick you out. And we know Ole is the one who replaced him. And so there could be a little bit of that rivalry, which as fans we love. Yeah, football without rivalry is nothing. That is why I'm really hoping that teams like Man United can get back to the Man United of old. Arsenal? No. Let's not speak about Arsenal. Don't get me started on Arsenal. Maybe, let's say, Chelsea also have been rebuilding, and so that things, so that we need to have more of the rivalry, not just Liverpool, Man City. Liverpool, Man City is not rivalry. We need the Man United of old to come back, and we've been coming back step by step, rebuilding this thing and making great strides towards coming back to what the Man United of old was, where we dominated league, we dominated the Champions League, we dominated the FA, we won trophies left, right, and center. And so today is the day. It feels like EPL is starting today with Man United versus Spurs, but EPL has been going on for a few days now, for 2 days, I think. We had on Wednesday night, on Wednesday evening, we had Sheffield United versus Aston Villa. If you saw that, you know controversy and Premier League are like twins. That Sheffield goal that was disallowed, you have your own opinion and I have mine. But I tell you, EPL needs to do better when it comes to such decisions. I know it was the first of such, but going forth, I trust that they will be making better decisions when it comes to those areas where those goals that technology cannot detect. What do you do with such? Yeah, that's why there's VAR. That's why there's a third assistant on a linesman on the touchline. What were they all? Everyone missed it. I don't think so. Even though that game was slow, that was a highlight. Then we had the Arsenal Man City. That is a topic for another day. We'll do a weekly review once we get the Premier League going back. Once after this game, we'll do a proper review, and that will be done. Otherwise, I'm here to speak about Tottenham versus Man United. We are going to the new Tottenham Stadium. Going to play away in London. We are going to London. As always, Spurs has never been an easy game for us. If you know Man United, we know that it is one of those teams that has so many rivals, and Spurs being one of them, has never been an easy game. And so, add that to Mourinho versus Man United, then you get a very, very exciting match to look up to. Mourinho is out to revenge, having been beaten by Ole in the first leg. Rashford bagging both goals, to remember that. Yeah. And so Ole is also out to prove a point. Mourinho recently called him out, telling him that he's out of his depth. And that did not really please the fans, and that alone makes the game more exciting. And for that, let me give a few points on what Man United need to do so that we can beat Spurs. The first thing we need to do is to make sure that we are not complacent. In as much as we have not had football in a while, some of our players are just coming from injury. Complacency is what will cost us top 4. The moment we treat teams as if they are small teams, the moment we take things for granted, that is the moment we will lose the game. We know Mourinho. Mourinho is one manager who can always pull a surprise on you, and so we must be watertight in every department. We must play as a unit, we must attack as a unit, and defend as a unit. We must not give Spurs space, because Spurs, Harry Kane is coming back, Son is coming back, and they have Lucas Moura, they have Lamela. Those are players that can hurt you at any time, meaning we need to be alert for 90 minutes plus. Of course, there's water break, which coming from a tropical region of Africa, we play in the sun all the year out, and it's hot, and we rarely have the water break. But since football is in summer nowadays, this season we are getting to get football in summer, there will be water break. This time there's been water break. It's been so plus water break, maybe you get 96 minutes, but we need to be alert from the start of the whistle to the end, so that we make sure that we have our formation right, we have our tactics right. Every player needs to know what they are doing. We need to play as a team, we need to play as a unit, so that we beat Spurs. Because beating Spurs, if Chelsea draws or loses, edges us closer to top 4. You get? It makes us get closer and closer to top 4. You get that? So today is a must-win game for us, and so complacency is not an option for us. The other thing we need to do is that we must get our player selection right. Yes, the player selection must be gotten right. That is the second point. As we are striving to get to top 4, we have not, especially with this Spurs game, beating Spurs will be a big impetus to us, a big driving force for us moving ahead as we strive for top 4. So we need to get our player selection right. So at the back, we know definitely it will be David De Gea. The center back will have Harry Maguire as the captain. He has to start. He's been on a good run of form. Next to him, personally, I would go with Eric Bailly. While some people may choose Lindelof. The reason why I want Eric Bailly is because I need a bully defender. I need a bully defender in that position, someone that will bully Harry Kane and other strikers, someone that will not will not be beaten, someone that cannot be beaten easily on the ball. While what's the other defender's name? While he's good on the ball, the problem is that he gets bullied a lot, especially in the air, and his one-on-ones are not very good. But with Eric Bailly is a very strong defender, and that will really help us from my thinking. The other thing of course, on this other side we have Luke Shaw, and we have Spider-Man, that is Wan-Bissaka. In the midfield, this is where the controversy lies. Some people would go with Matic as the deep-lying centre-back. Others, then you have Pogba and Bruno. But for me, I think Fred has to start. Fred has to start. The reason why Fred has to start because he's been on a good run of form. He's been like our apart from Wan-Bissaka and now Bruno coming in, I think Fred has been like our player of the season. And so that has to be factored in. There's no way with the way Fred has worked in that team. I know Matic of late has also had an improved performance, but overall Fred has done us well. And so for us to keep that energy going, I think Fred has to start. I would go with Bruno and Pogba, but that doesn't mean if Ole chooses to have Matic, I would be disappointed. No, I would not be disappointed. I would go with Bruno and Pogba so that we try and win this game in the first half, and then in the second half maybe withdraw Pogba or Bruno as we prepare for the Sheffield United game. And so that would be my selection in the midfield. Have the four at the back. Have Fred as the ball playing CDM. The reason why I want Fred also is because he has the ability to be mobile, and like because I know Mourinho will set up with two deep lying midfielders. So for us to be able to exploit that, we need to have people who can push the ball and give some good passes in the midfield, carry the ball to Pogba and Bruno, so that they can supply the strikers or even score for the team. On the wing, on the right, Rashford has to start. There's no doubt about that. Martial has to start as our centre forward. And on this other right side, we have to start Dan James so that we exploit his pace. We exploit the weaknesses that Spurs have, because we know that Spurs defense this season has not been very strong, and so we need to exploit those weaknesses. The other reason why, or rather the other thing that we must do to beat Spurs is to feed off the positivity that has been going on in the club. Pogba is back. That is a lot of positivity. This year we've seen a lot of positivity when Bruno joined us. The buzz was awesome and the run was good. We were on an 11-game unbeaten run before the pandemic break came. That means that we need to keep that run going, and to keep that run going, we have to feed off the positivity. The other positivity is that the club has had a good interaction with the community generally during this pandemic period. Their support to the medical staff, the needy people. Recently, we had Rashford petitioning the government to resume the free food program for the school-going children, even if they're not going to school, because most of them were struggling to get food, the ones that were depending on the government-sponsored food programs. So Rashford has petitioned the government, and the government has, the UK government has accepted Rashford's plea. And so there's a lot of positivity going, and we need to feed off that. We need to make sure that that energy is channeled into the game so that we win this game. Besides that, we also need to capitalize on Spurs' weaknesses. We know the fullbacks. Their fullbacks are weaker. They are not as strong as they used to be. Their midfield has not been very, very consistent. their back four is their center backs are aging, and so those are things that we need to really ensure that we take we use. Spurs will be coming, most likely, knowing Mourinho will be coming to defend, like I'd said earlier. He most likely might play with two deep lying midfielders, and that would give us the opportunity to attack. That is why I'm not for the formation where we also have two two deep lying midfielders. Let's say, for example, McTominay or Fred and Matic. No, I'm not for that. I'm for us having two attacking midfielders in Pogba and Bruno, and then Fred. And even if Ole chooses to go with Matic, I don't think it would be a loss for us, but I would rather go with Fred so that we win this. I prefer us winning this in the first half. The last point I would like to say is that we need to go into this match with a winning mentality. If we approach this game hoping for a draw, or saying, oh, because it's Mourinho, because Spurs have been generally better than ManUnited in recent years, I think that is not the mentality that I want the club to have. If the club wants to progress, the club wants to go forward, I think the best thing to do is for us to go to the game with a winning mentality. And so my prediction for the game, I know it will be a very tough game, given that people will be coming back, they'll be very rusty, having not played football for at least 3 months, 100 days, I think, for at least 3 months. It will be very difficult. It will be might be a cagey game, depending on how both managers approach it. I'm hoping that there'll be no injuries, because it's a tough game, and then players still don't have the rhythm, like we saw with the Arsenal versus Man City game. We saw some injuries that are we cannot explain how they came, but it's just because the players have not had football in a while. So I'm hoping there will be no serious injuries. Even if they'll be there, there'll be minor injuries, so that we try and keep the rhythm going. So my prediction for the game, I would go for a 2-1 win for ManUnited, because I want the team to win. I have to be positive for the team to win. It's a difficult game. Spurs, it's a 50-50 game. Spurs can win, we can win, it can go for a draw. But I don't want a draw, I don't want a loss, I want a win. So my prediction is 2-1 win, and that's it. Otherwise, I wish you have a good day as we prepare for the game in the evening. I think in East African time it will be at around 10:15. If you're watching in East African time, it should be around 10:15. In UK, I think it's about 8:15. So that's it. Leave a comment. If you're a new viewer, subscribe to the channel, ManUnited Bonafide, and let's keep this positivity going as ManUnited fans. Let's keep hoping that we get to top 4, so that we can get more top quality players like Sancho and maybe Bellerin, so that they may come and strengthen our squad. Otherwise, it's been real. It's so good to be back. So good that football is finally back. We have some proper entertainment. Otherwise, for me, it's peace. Semaje? Kwa sawa?